Hi all, this is a special video about the Mir-20. If you've gone with some Russian lenses like the Helios 44 and a Mir-1 and maybe the Jupiter 9, you need something wider than 37. This is one that seems to match the look quite well of the others, but it's down at 20 millimeter, which is kind of an ultra wide. It cost me about $300 about 5 years ago, Canadian. So it's a bit of an investment, and there are some challenges that it represents, specifically front filters. You can't mount filters right on the lens. There is nothing to mount them onto, and also that front element protrudes, as you can see there. The focus throw is great, a nice long one, great for using a follow focus with, maybe a little bit harder focusing with your hand because your fingers may kind of end up into the shot with that front focus ring being so close to the front of the lens there that in such a wide angle your fingers can end up in the shot very easily. Even like microphones and stuff have ended up in the shot accidentally as well, just because it's such a wide angle. And also you have to kind of take your hand off to get all the way around, especially if you're trying to get really, really close, which this lens is very capable of very close focus. But with a follow focus, it works well with some simple lens gear rings on, and the way to get ND on this after a lot of trial and error is to get this small rig matte box, or any other matte box probably, that can be mounted to your 15 millimeter rails. This one, the small rig, has a quarter 20 on the bottom. The tilted didn't, so I had to get rid of that. Then you can mount a 4 by 5.65 ND filter. This one's from small rig as well. Pretty good value for what you get. If you're using a crop sensor, you could figure out a way. I did this for a while, of putting circular filters, like kind of going for the 82 millimeter filters and kind of mounting them inside the matte box. It's important to get that lens snug right up, get that lens protruding right inside that matte box. Otherwise you'll deal with some vignetting issues. It is possible. This one you can see I didn't have it quite perfectly lined up yet, but it's because it's rubbing on the matte box a little bit and kind of pushing it around. If you really dial it in, get the matte box fitting on there perfectly, once you have it properly mounted, usually it can be, you keep your matte box in that position and it's always good, but making sure it's snug and straight, and it works pretty well. Now, even in these next shots here, you can see that I didn't get it quite snug and straight, and so I have a little bit of vignetting on the top right corner, maybe even the bottom right, so it's maybe push it a little bit. It's not quite straight here on this shot, but it is possible. But it is something that to be aware of, that you will probably constantly run into not getting quite perfectly fitting. Obviously on Super 35 it's cropped in, and this is what it looks like, more just like a regular kind of wide angle. It works out to about a 30 millimeter lens, which is also kind of missing in this this Russian collection. Wanted to show that it is possible to still get kind of some background characteristics of some of the bokeh with even Super 35. It's a little bit more challenging to get it as easily, the soft backgrounds. I mean, with the leaves here it's easy, but you'll see here with a human head trying to get in the frame and focus on them, and then still have some kind of soft backgrounds, or even just some of those specular highlights characteristics, while still having his full head in the shot. It's still happening, but it's a little bit not quite as easy to get it. But I wouldn't say it's a reason not to get the lens. Depends. And just being an only wide option you have for anything that's a crop sensor as well. But here's a comparison. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. Just wanted to address those couple little issues of what I found with this lens and trying to use it for video.